Right at this moment in time, everyone is talking about plug-in solar. But nobody is talking about the real return on investment. When are you going to get your money back? So I'm about to do something very different. So I've built a live dashboard. This will let you track exactly how much this system is producing and, more importantly, how much money it's saving me from my energy bills. And I'm putting all of this data online so you can check in whenever you want. So after my last video on plug-in solar, I realized something that reading through the comments, what people really want is proof. They want to know that if they invest in this kind of technology, that it's actually going to return their money. They're going to get the money back and it's going to help reduce their energy bills. So to do that, what I've done is hooked up the stream system that is under the table here to a series of web dashboards. That means that anybody who has access to the internet, which I'm assuming given everybody who's watching this video is doing it on YouTube, you can go to my website, you can see exactly what this system is producing. You can also see exactly where we are on the return on investment journey. We can see how much we spent, how much it's returned, and how long it's still got to go. Now, before we dive into the dashboard, let's talk a little bit about the setup of the system itself. So I actually have two sets of panels. There are two on one side of the garden. Those are to get the morning sun. And we have two on the other side of the garden, which are designed to catch the evening sun. And if I take a look at the EcoFlow app, what we can see here is we're seeing somewhere in the region of about 580 to 600 watts right now. Now, that's from two of the panels that are about 450 watts each. And they're now feeding into the batteries and charging the batteries up so that later on today, when we need more energy into the house, we can feed the batteries back into the house. Now, another great advantage of this system is that all of the things in my office, my computers, my screens, my router, my Wi-Fi, and everything that is under there is all running directly off these batteries. So as well as it's supplying 800 watts into the house, I can withdraw up to another 2,300 watts from the batteries to run everything in my office. And the really great thing about that is it's also a UPS. So if the power were to go out, that everything in here would just continue to run. I would still be able to do my work. I'd still be able to get access to the internet because everything is running off of the batteries, not running directly off of the house mains. Now, what did it take to set this system up? Well, to be honest, there are other videos on my channel if you want to go watch those. Really, really simple. But each of these devices, these are batteries with a 2 kilowatt-hour battery in there, and one of these devices has the inverter, which is the small device that takes the input from the solar panels as DC, converts it into AC, and pushes that into the house or into the batteries. So really, really simple, very few cables. Each of these devices is just connected to the other one by one single cable, and then all of the solar panels go into one of them. So it's a really DIY-friendly system. Anyone who is competent at running cabling, is not frightened of plugging things into each other, should have no problem setting this up. And then once it's all set up, you take your mobile phone, you install the EcoFlow app, and you start provisioning the system. So then once you get into the app, you can start setting things like the sort of schedule. When do you want the batteries to charge from the grid if you want to do that overnight? When do you want them to discharge? All of that through a really simple interface in the EcoFlow app. Now that's all great, but if it doesn't actually save you money, then it's a complete waste of time. And that's exactly what this dashboard is designed to show. So let's dive in and take a look at the numbers. So if you head across to my website to jonathantracy.com, up at the top of the screen here, you'll see there's a button that says data visualization. That'll take you in. There are a number of dashboards. There is another one coming, but we're interested in the EcoFlow Stream ROI, which will bring you to this page. Now, at the top of the page there's some information about the system itself, the setup. There is also a disclosure here because EcoFlow did provide the Stream Ultra and the AC Pro and a couple of the panels for long-term testing. Now, this is not a sponsored video. That was done back end of last year. But what I'm planning to do is to run this for at least a full year to be able to give you the data of what it produces so that you can make your own decisions. But I just want to be very clear that EcoFlow paid for 2 of these 3 units. The third one, the AC on the end there, I actually paid for with my own money because I really like the system. Anyway, moving on down, what you'll see is the main part of the dashboard. So what you'll see is we have some nice, easy to read statistics. So far today, this system has been installed for 277 days, and it has saved me £145.35. That doesn't sound a lot, does it? And the reality is, I installed this at the back end of last summer. So we got a bit of the autumn and all of the winter, and now we're getting into spring. We haven't yet seen the full effect in the summer, but data is data, and as we go forward in time, as we get into the summer, this will automatically update with all of that new data. So you can start to see the picture as it evolves. What you can see underneath that, the 3 boxes here, so we have our arbitrage share. Now, for those that don't know, energy arbitraging is where you buy energy in from the grid when it's cheap, and you either consume it to save you from buying energy when it's expensive, or you sell it back to the grid. Now, in the case of this system, I'm not doing any exporting, but what I am doing is buying it when it's cheap to save me from buying it when it's expensive. So we can see here we've got arbitrage savings. So from just buying that energy cheap and not using peak rate electricity, it's saved £59.34. From solar, so that is energy that we got for free from the solar panels stored in the batteries and used, we have £86.01 in savings. And then our total ROI, how much of the cost of this entire system have we paid back? We're at 7%. But like I say, we haven't even had a full year yet, and we haven't had the summer. We'll come back to those in a moment. Underneath that, we've just got some basic numbers, arbitrage and solar share, and our effective cost. So what is our cost per kilowatt hour? And if we mix everything up, we're seeing about 17 pence per kilowatt hour. Okay, underneath is where you can play with the data, so you can actually take a look at it. What you'll see is there's a line there with 25 and 26 in it. Those are the years. So if we just want to look at what happened in 2025, I can click there. The charts will automatically update. Now, the first one, energy savings, what you can see here is we installed the system at the back end of July, so not much there. August, and then the rest of the months of the year. The orange part there is our solar generation. So what did we get from solar in those months? And the green part is energy arbitrage, where we bought energy in, stored it in the batteries. So what you can see is as we go through the year, the solar is obviously declining and the energy arbitrage is getting larger. So that would be what you would expect. As we get less solar in the winter, we're buying energy cheap and storing it to save ourselves some money. So that's the savings tab. If we go to the net tab, it'll just give you the same thing, but it won't break it down for you. Now, if you're interested in any particular month, so if we look at August, if we click on August, you can see every single day of August, you can see how much energy did it produce, how much energy did we arbitrage from the network, how much did we buy in and store in the batteries. And there are a couple of days there you'll notice that the arbitrage is actually negative. And that's because I got it wrong. I actually imported more energy than I needed. I stored it in the batteries and we used it up a couple of days later. Now you can jump from month to month just by clicking on the little tab here. So if you want to see each individual month, but you can always go back to the full year or to the multi-year view here. So let's go to 2026. You can see there, we've got the first few days of April already in, and I will update this, I would say at a minimum of, at the end of every month, but in my long-term plan for this dashboard is this will update daily. So right now, it's not real time. Hopefully in the future, it will be. But we've got our savings, we've got our net, we've got our mix. So again, we can just see the same information presented in different ways. So as a percentage of the whole, as you can see, January, February, March, we're getting more and more solar as we head into the summer. Flow just shows you the direction of the energy. So how much did we import versus how much did we export? And by export, I don't mean export to the grid, I mean export to the house. But the bit you're probably most interested in is the ROI. So right now, as we said at the top here, we've paid back 7% of the cost of this unit. So just to put it into perspective, these 3 batteries under here, this is a 6 kilowatt system, or 6 kilowatt hours of storage, and it has 4 solar panels connected to it. If you were to buy that today, you'd pay somewhere in the region of about £2,100 for the 3 batteries, the 4 solar panels, all of the mountings to put it on the fence, and all the cabling. Probably more than I'd recommend investing as a starting point. And one of the really nice things about this system is, think of these as Lego bricks. You don't have to buy them all at once. You can start with one, and if you find you need a bit more storage capacity, you can bolt on another brick. But what you can see here is we've recovered £145, our target is £2,100, and according to the payback rate at which we're paying that back, right now it's going to take 10 years and 2 months to pay that back. Now that's not realistic. As soon as we've had a full year's worth of data, that will update. It's probably going to come down to something more like 6 to 7 years to pay itself back. But the beauty of this is that it will continue to work month in, month out. We won't have to sit and monitor it. We won't have to sit and manage it. It does its thing and you can get on with your life. And it will just keep knocking money off of your energy bill every single month. Now, as I say, I'm putting this all online because I want to be open and transparent about what real systems cost. And in fact, I'm doing this for my heat pump and also for my other solar system. So again, if we go back here, if you're interested in what does my heat pump cost to run, there is a whole dashboard for that. Again, there is an ROI tab, so you can see exactly how much did I spend on the heat pump, how much has it saved us, and how long are we waiting to recover our investment. And again, there is a full dashboard for my solar generation as well. Now, this includes the stream system. It also includes the 2 other solar systems that we have in our house. So again, if you're interested in those, you can find those there. The dashboard for energy bills is a work in progress. That will be coming later. Now, let's bring this back to somebody who's thinking about installing their first system. This is probably overkill certainly for a beginner. I would maybe start with one of these systems. It has the microinverter and a battery all in one unit. But if that's beyond your budget, there are cheaper ways to get into this. So this particular unit here is a microinverter. It is not much bigger than my Mac Mini that is sitting over here. This particular model they don't make anymore. There is a newer version than this. But all you need to get started is 1 solar panel, 1 microinverter, and you're off to the races. A bit of cabling, that's probably going to be needed as well, but that is your entry point into plug-in solar. And that is going to cost you somewhere in the region of £200. Now, if you want to step that up, then you go to something like the Stream Ultra. That lets you plug in up to 4 solar panels. You can do a similar setup to mine where I've got them on both sides of the garden if you want to, or on your shed or your garage roof, wherever you want to put them. But the advantage of having something like the Stream Ultra is that in the summer when solar is plentiful, you can charge the batteries and discharge them into your house. Then in the winter, when solar's not so great, we get those really dank, dark, grey overcast days, and we sometimes get them for weeks at a time, is you can buy energy at night time when it's cheap, store it in your battery, and then release it into your house to save you buying that peak rate energy. So right now, when we look at the ROI for our system, it doesn't look that good, does it? 7%, 10-year payback period, but keep coming back. Check in on me in June or July. Just go to the website, have a look at the dashboard. I think you'll be surprised exactly how much a few solar panels will actually produce. So if you want to follow along with my solar story, you can go to the dashboard. You can subscribe to my channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Or if you can, even think about becoming a channel member. All of those help support me to make more videos like this and hopefully keep you informed about some of the ways that you can reduce your energy bill. With that, I'm going to sign off. It just remains for me to say thank you for everybody who has watched my videos, to all of the new channel members that have come in the last couple of weeks. Thank you very much. Your subscriptions are greatly appreciated. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you back here real soon for another video. Take care. Bye-bye.